welcome you to the MindFire educational webinar for June. We're excited you're taking time out of your busy day to join us. We've got some great information for you today. Let's go ahead and get started. And just real quick, we're on the air now. You should be able to hear us. There's a telephone number there if for any reason you're having difficulty seeing or hearing us. And number one question is, are we recording this session? Absolutely. And will you get a copy of the slides? Yes, of course. And that question gets asked throughout today's session for some of the new folks that are joining us. But yes, you'll absolutely get, within 24 hours, a link to the recorded session. Now, about today's webinar, for those of you, this is your first time joining us, really, what is the webinar all about? Well, first of all, it's great insight and education. We've been doing these for 9 years, and we feel it's really important to bring innovative use cases to the industry. From the webinar content that you'll view today, we publish ebooks for the continuing education and use for our customers with their prospects, and for you who are not partners with MindFire currently, just for education. It's great information that you can use internally, externally. And by the way, we have an entire series of ebooks at www.mindfireinc.com under the resources tab. So if you're curious and interested in seeing some of the great success stories of our customers across the various vertical markets, just visit our website, and then under the resources tab, you can see ebooks and case studies. So you'll have an opportunity to download those wonderful resources. And the simple question is, why do we conduct these webinars? Well, first and foremost, to highlight our customer success. We have incredible customers of all sizes around the globe. Second, we want to introduce innovative use cases to meet a wide variety of customer needs, because there's so many different customer needs out there. It's neat to highlight the different ways you can meet them. And finally, to promote the industry through ongoing education and help the community we're all involved in grow your success. So that's why we're doing it, and you've got those great resources there for you. Now, today you have an opportunity to be interactive. I know there's going to be a bunch of questions. Every webinar there's lots of questions, so go ahead and click on the question tab and go ahead and enter your question, and we'll answer them throughout the session. Mackenzie on our team is manning the question booth, and she'll do a great job of answering your questions. And then at the end of the session, we'll have ample time to answer the questions live, so that everybody gets a chance to learn together. Our agenda, how to tailor, design, and implement custom solutions to meet the specific and unique needs of your clients, making you a true strategic partner. We're going to start off with how to transform trade show and event marketing results for Bradyware. And then we're going to look at a really amazing use case of technology, an innovative third-party maintenance provider recruitment portal. Yes, I said recruitment portal, and it solved a really big customer issue and is really the platform for the future for this organization. And then we're going to look at another innovative use case, a franchisee dealer marketing portal that takes your customer relationship to an entirely another level. So we'll spend a few minutes on that at the end, and then we've got lots of time for your questions and answers. So having said that, let's talk about today's presenters. Dan Cornelius, who's the Director of Sales and Integrated Solutions at ThinkPatented, our partner that's joining us today. He's run into some weather delay with his flight. He was supposed to be on the ground sitting at a United Center during this call, but there's been a little hiccup. We expect him to join us. And joining us in addition is Jason Pittman, Integrated Services Team Lead for ThinkPatented. He's actually the creator of the program and has been actively involved in both programs. So Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Joe. It's good to be here.
Well, thanks for all your time and help in putting on the production day. We appreciate it. Again, I'm Joe Manis, Executive Vice President. Now, when we think in terms of expanding your service offerings to meet the specific and unique needs of your customers, again, let's just talk a little bit about ThinkPatented. We'll let Jason give us a little overview before we get into our case studies. So, Jason, why don't you give us just the attendees a little insight into your organization?
Well, Think Patented is a marketing execution company, and we're located in southwestern Ohio. We like to say it all happens here. By integrating the latest printing technologies with a range of other services and integrated solutions, we provide our clients unparalleled marketing options that will keep them ahead of the curve and ahead of their competitors. We recognize that our clients have a unique demand, so we offer unique solutions.
Okay,
And
outstanding. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and as far as Dan and I go, we've been working together on integrated marketing campaigns for 10 years.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure to be working with you guys all along that way. I think I've been working with your organization for close to 15 years, and it's a great organization that's very customer focused. Okay, so that's Think Patent, and that's what they do. Now, before I hand it back to Jason, let's talk about this area of opportunity called trade show and event marketing. And what I'd like to say for those of you that are customers, this is an untapped area of opportunity that just about every one of your customers is looking for help on. And any of your B2B customers are attending trade shows and events. We'll see an example here in just a second. But when you think in terms of the trade show opportunity, this is a major marketing budget area for all of your customers. In fact, you're maybe doing some print production for them today. And the customer needs are consistent across all customer types, the vertical markets. And the challenges they face are the same. And you're already doing some of the work, but it's a logical extension of your current business. And what we know is that most marketers are not pleased with the results they're achieving at the trade show and event. So this is a huge area of opportunity for you. And as you can see from this little cartoon, the boss is asking how we did at the trade show, and the team member said we had a huge crowd, but it was an overflow crowd from the booth next to us, and the only person that asked for a brochure asked it so they could kill a spider. And some guy tried to steal our chair, and Alice beat him senseless with our logo signs. The video of the incident's already on YouTube. It cost us $200,000 to be an exhibitor, and we gained 0 new customers. So it was just like the last 11 years. And the boss, the eternal optimist, says, yeah, but I feel good about next year. Well, while this is a cartoon, the sad truth is that marketers believing gaining qualified leads is the key success metric for live events, yet 60% of them are not satisfied with the results they're generating. So again, it's a huge area of opportunity. And Think Patented, knowing that, has been delivering innovative trade show and event marketing tools for their customers to help address those deficient results. So let's turn it back to Jason, and let's talk about Brady Ware and Company, the innovative program you guys put together. So let's start off with a little overview of Brady Ware.
So Brady Ware and Company provide accounting services as well as other specialty services for operating efficiency. This specific trade show, the target audience was sustainable business models for long-term care. Providers of long-term care and HCBS waiver services are being squeezed from all sides, and Brady Ware understands these operational and funding issues. They also understand that their mission and concern for those to whom the services are provided. For nearly 30 years, they've helped providers establish effective operational models that appropriately maximize the available funding.
So they are a long-term care provider, and they have a great desire to develop good leads and contacts for the show. So what was the challenge you guys were facing?
Well, the challenge was they needed a program that would improve their trade show and event marketing results for the long-term care division, and also they only had 2 reps that are only going to be available at the booth for a limited time. They needed to create a solution that would leverage a 3-pronged trade show approach, including pre-show, during show, and post-show activities, but also needed it to not overbook the couple reps that they had, and be able to tell the person who's booking their appointment where that rep will be to meet them. And you can go to the next, next slide.
Yep.
The key considerations. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say. Go ahead.
The key objectives for the improved trade show results, we created a fully automated cross-media marketing program that engaged the attendees prior to the show, the Brady Ware engagement and awareness. They set the appointments for the meetings at the show in advance, and we leveraged an external appointment setting application to do this. Our goal was to increase the overall number of quality prospects and provide visibility into response data of each individual.
So just on that, leveraging the external appointment setting application. So that was another application in the cloud that you guys connected to the studio so that you could provide this additional capability, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
The additional considerations we had for the program is that the attendee list was not available for this event, so we actually had to leverage last year's attendee list of 490 attendees. The event lasted over 2 days, and the list did not include emails.
So again, the secret sauce for effective trade show programs that we've developed in partnership with Think Patent for different programs is that pre-show, very specific awareness and connecting with each of the prospects, then driving the updates throughout showtime, which you'll see, and then the post-show follow-up. So let's go ahead and talk about the flow chart of the program that you designed, Jason.
Okay, as we presented it to them, we would have, we started with the show data that we were provided. We had 3 direct mail drops, and we dropped those weekly because this was a very small time crunch we were on before the date. Those would lead to a microsite. We positioned it to include a brief survey because we typically would include that to garner more information. They chose to not have the survey to make it a quicker experience for the user. That leads to a thank you page that contains several trackable links that we could track to see what their other interests and specific interests would be. A thank you email came off the page, which provided a claim certificate that they would print out, and that would actually have a physical item they would have to take directly to the show to pick up their free charger. There was a reminder email before the event to remind them about their appointment and where it would be located. And then there's an email the day of the event that was a secondary reminder. And we also gave the option for SMS if they provided their mobile. All of that drove into the dashboard where Brady Ware could pull that information and use it for their internal follow-up. And if they so chose, they could throw it into an email newsletter for the after show.
Nice. All right, so let's take a look at the first touch direct mail piece.
So we wanted to really focus on get the free item here to try to drive them to the site. So we've kind of teased with the free boost and a chance to win the $500 gift card.
Yep, good offer. Good, clean messaging as well.
As far as the backs go, we have the messaging there. There's only slight changes between the 3 pieces. It's kind of a boilerplate model because we wanted to keep that consistent look on the back of it. It does highlight the free charger once again, and how to get it is to go to the Pearl.
Yep. And there's Touch 2.
Touch 2 is similar messaging, but a little bit of a different look, and focus on it's not too late, you still have time.
Yeah, and just as a coaching tip for some of our attendees, you notice there's a lot of white space here. Really clear call to action, great offer, and that really gets you those better results.
And then once again, the back is very similar. There's very, very little changes between the backs. And then the third piece is the last chance, hurry up and get it kind of mailer to really push that response.
That's a great looking piece. Also on the back here, just these free mobile battery chargers. It used to be memory sticks. You get a memory stick, you could win $500 gift card, but these have become real popular, these mobile battery chargers. You're seeing them pop up everywhere, but they are really a coveted item that most people want because we're always running out of juice when we're traveling with our mobile. So great job. Yeah,
they wanted a very useful item, and then it tied in with the charge me up kind of theme we were going with.
Yeah, good job. Really, it's nice how all the pieces fit together nicely. And then we get to the personalized landing site.
The landing site's a single-page experience. They wanted people to be able to go on. It's going to pre-fill with the information we've already got about them. And then also, you can go to the next slide.
Yeah. On dashboard issue there. There we go.
And then it also has a list of appointment times. What's unique about this program and what we were able to use to leverage our third-party software we used was that in real time, these will show up whether they're available or not. They're set so there can only be 2 available per time slot so that we don't overbook, and each time slot set to a unique place in the expo to drive the person to have their meeting. So you could be on this looking for a time, and it could switch to unavailable if you're not fast enough to click your time.
There's an unavailable there on the next page.
Yep. That's an example.
And that's interesting. Now, worst case scenario, because I know someone's going to ask this question, Jason. What if, you know, the person was only available at 10:30 and both those appointment slots were taken?
Well, that we didn't have any experience with that, and we did think about that. When we brought it to the customer told us that what would happen is they would just probably select another one and then call them up. So we really didn't have that situation, but we did bring it up.
Okay, good. Just curious. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, their main concern was just don't allow them to select it no matter what.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So after they select that, it takes you to the thank you page. It says thank you for making your appointment, and it clarifies the time, and then it lets you know that in the next few days you'll receive your confirmation time and location.
And you clickable
links.
And
then we also, have trackable links, yep.
Yeah. And then here's the coupon that they print out and bring to the booth or wherever the meeting place was, right?
Yeah. And we created a random redemption code so that it would look unique so people wouldn't think they could go make copies of it and hand them out to whoever to get free chargers.
Good job. Always important. And then here's the links, just some of the information that they could click on to get a better understanding of the BradyWare offering for this particular vertical.
Yeah, it drove the client to the information, but also gave us the feedback to know that they were specifically interested in that sort of information.
And this just builds that trust, confidence, awareness as BradyWare, you know, is trying to build that trust with their prospects. Also, it gives BradyWare in the dashboard the ability to see who actually clicked on these links and the total number of click-throughs.
And then they receive this email on the day of the event. It says, don't forget that you have your meeting. It has the time, and it tells where to meet the person at. It also has the person they're meeting, but it looks like my seed isn't tied quite right. So it should say April 29th at 1 p.m. with, and it would have the name of the person they're set to meet at the community center. And it tells them where they would go.
That's a nice touch, definitely.
And this is the appointment reminder. This would happen the morning of.
Yep. And then my favorite.
And then the text, which says
and just
same information.
Yep. And there's who you're meeting with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what's really cool about the text reminders, ladies and gentlemen, our attendees, is I can't tell you how many times in our own events at MindFire when we were exhibiting where we've had maybe a guest speaker or a panel of customers speaking. I can tell you how many folks, because of these text reminders during the show, who have actually made the presentation, and they thanked us afterwards, said, you know, I was over in another booth, I got the text reminder, I would have blown it off completely if you hadn't done that, thank you so much. So it really does work, and it's, again, those during show methodologies that help your customers achieve those better results, whether we're driving them for a specific appointment, a guest speaking section, or maybe we're doing a product demo at a certain hour. These are all those moving parts that are essential for trade show improved results. So the results of the program, Jason, the customer's really excited, huh?
Yep, they were extremely pleased with the results. They had over 200 attendees that came and visited their booth, and they're still actually calculating the revenue results. Not all the appointments made were people who showed up, but many of them referenced the campaign as the reason they came to the booth.
Yeah, great. And I'm sure that you'll have future opportunities working with BradyWare for their next trade show event. Yep?
Yep, we look forward to it.
Yeah, awesome job. Okay, so great job. So now let's go to a use case that most of you have probably not seen before. And this is for Divisions Maintenance Group. It's a third-party service provider search program, and this is really cool. Great job, Jason. So real quick, a little bit about Division Maintenance Group.
Divisions Maintenance Group provides facilities maintenance services for retailers and property management companies across the nation. Companies like Walmart and CVC, among others, rely on Divisions Maintenance Group for complete, full-service maintenance care of their facilities. The challenge that they had was to identify, locate, and develop qualified third-party service providers that meet the qualification standards for Division's third-party service provider program. Also to free up staff and deliver qualified firms based on GMG's overall qualification process. The way their site worked before we came along, and the challenge that they were having, was they had kind of an open form that was driving directly to their CRM, so anybody was just putting all this information in, and they had to have people specifically hired to clean up that information and weed out all the people who that don't meet the pre-qualification. So the solution that we provided was to create a fully automated recruitment portal and deliver all the qualified firms back to Divisions Maintenance for entry into their CRM at that point. Okay.
Good?
Yep, sorry. The considerations we had were we need to create a fully automated recruitment portal that allowed potential service providers to log on and complete pre-qualification form. We also needed the ability to upload W-9s, insurance coverage information, other important documentation, and track that those uploads have been made, as well as they need to complete a packet of information, the completed packet of information, including the uploads, would be submitted to Divisions of Maintenance internal recruiters, where they could approve or deny the next step in real time. We also needed it to send reminders to applicants for the missing parts of the package, as well as let them know when they've been either denied or approved.
Yeah, this is a lot of moving parts, Jason. I mean, it's impressive when you think about it, because you think about a normal day for these folks that are evaluating these different companies, and there's a lot of moving parts they have to look at, right?
Yes, yes, there's a lot. We started with this is a two-pronged kind of campaign. We needed a Perl so that they could target certain groups. The first group they targeted was plumbers, but they also wanted a general access to tie into their website for people just hitting the site as they can. So the master data we would have, they would get, and we split it out by city, and they would let us know they need plumbers in this city. So this is where we kind of laid out a group of how we could split it apart. And then we would use social media, direct mail, email, static advertisements, as well as SMS messaging to drive people to either their Perl or to drive them to the girl site.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, you want to go next?
Yep, that's fine. This shows that we can version the microsite based on what their specific unique what they're going for. So we have those kind of laid out, versioned out like that. If they complete the info, then it goes into their internal approval process at Divisions Maintenance, where they have the ability to either decline or approve. If they decline it, they can give reasoning for declining it, or they can approve it. If they approve it, it goes off and goes into their internal processes. If the people don't complete the info, then it sends multiple reminder emails letting them know you still have time, time is running up, and then we're sorry, but you didn't get in on time. We'll let you know if something else comes your way.
Excellent. And this is really important, because if they've got a contract with like a Walmart for a new city or a new facility, and they can't find, the right quality electrician or plumber to execute that program, well, then they've got a problem, right?
Yep.
All right.
This is the direct mail piece. This one's specific to plumbers, so it's visual and kind of wording is specific to the plumber opportunities. On this campaign, we sent multiple touches, but they only wanted to use the one set of artwork.
Okay.
Here's the back. Once again, we had this as little text as possible to make them interested to go on to the site to find out more information.
And an excellent site.
This is the homepage for the general access site. If they would have came from the Perl, we would know where they're coming from, so it wouldn't ask them. But when they hit the general access, we're asking them how they found out about the site. it would pre-fill with information if it was a Pearl and we knew who they were. We also have them creating a password and verifying their email for two things. The email we verify because we want to know that it's correct, but also by creating the email and the password, we're allowing them, we're essentially creating an account that they can come back in to make sure that they upload their information they need to upload.
Yeah, just aesthetically, it's a beautiful looking site for sure. Anything else you want to cover on this site?
No, we can go to the next site.
Yeah, all required fields too.
Yeah, they were all, except for address too.
Yeah.
So as they go through the site, there's multiple pages, and they can click, I'll do that later, or they can select it and upload it at that time. If they log off, if they get to a site part they can't finish and they come back later, it's going to ask them what their email address and their password was so they can come here. This is their summary page. The summary page has multiple tabs at the top where they can see multiple points of information that they provided, and there's a big orange box that tells them what we still need and a little exclamation point on the tab that provides that information that they would put that information in.
That's awesome. That is really cool. And you think about if they're putting all of this information in the mail, they lost time, and by getting in all this critical evaluation information in real time, I mean, that's a game changer for your customer, right?
Yeah, it was a big change from what they were doing before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other data points? See, I'll upload my liability later, so that's cool in case it's not handy. Awesome.
When they click those are, we use those to trigger the reminder emails that they still need to upload their workers' compensation or their liability insurance.
Okay, beautiful. Uh-oh, you're declining.
Yeah, someone's declining me. This is the internal process. Once they finish that and they upload all their information, they'll no longer receive reminders that they're missing information. An email will instead go to Divisions Maintenance where they log in with their own account to a separate site where they can either approve the person or decline the person. If they hit decline, it asks information for why they're declined, and they can put comments in here. When they submit this will send to that user letting them know, we're sorry, but you've been declined, and these are the reasons why you were declined. And it gives them a chance to either fix the information or to just continue with being declined.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, neat.
This is before you hit the decline. You can scroll down. You can't scroll down, but on this page you could scroll down and you could see what they're missing and what they've put in so far. It's almost like a mini dashboard, and it lets us know certain things that might help us with the either approval or declining process.
Excellent. So a lot of flexibility there for sure.
So if they get approved, they receive this email that lets them know that their registration has been approved, and you can contact Madeline, who's in charge of the approval process. And on division side, that person is now in the CRM. So if they call in, they can bring up all that information in their CRM.
Beautiful.
This is what someone at Divisions Maintenance would receive when someone finishes uploading all their information. It sends it saying the person has completed their profile and is ready to have their information reviewed. If they click the approve or decline link, it takes it to that micro dashboard where they can either approve or decline that person.
So it gives them a heads up, minute by minute as new lead. We're calling it a lead in this use case, but it's basically a new application's been submitted, and if 10 new apps came in the last hour, they'd see them in sequential order as they came into their email, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's great notification, so they know they're either ahead of schedule or falling behind based on the great results they're getting from the program. I like this one. This one's a cool idea.
This is the still time to sign up. And this one sent out, this is towards the end of the reminders, just to let them know that there's still time to kind of time them. It kind of says that they can do it now, but the fact of saying there's still time means that eventually there won't be time. So it kind of drives them to want to finish their profile.
Yeah, beautiful. So some great results again. Great job.
Yep, we were able to fully automate all the processes and eliminate all the manual steps to identify and qualify the applicants. We delivered better overall efficiency and freed up the division staff to spend the majority of their time evaluating quality applicants. Divisions estimated that they saved over $150,000 in internal labor costs by implementing the innovative solution. This is the first step in helping divisions achieve success in new areas. And the next step is to work with them to drive providers to an automated job board with SMS messaging.
That's fabulous. Great job. And again, for our audience, you know, this is using a technology platform to solve a very specific issue for the customer. And the Think Patented guys in both examples have done a fantastic job. And if you think back a couple webinars preceding this, if you look at some of our other customers, they were solving a CRM issue with a mini CRM. They had an integrated workflow with their fulfillment application on the shop floor. So again, just solving customer issues by allowing technology to become the enabling force for you, the service provider. All right, well, I know there's going to be a bunch of questions, Jason, so sit tight as we go into the next section, and then we'll open it up for questions, and we'll start to answer those questions, because I know we've got the team looking at questions that are coming across as we speak. Okay, so let's now change horses. You know, we saw two great illustrations by Think Patent, and now let's talk about another challenge that many of you face when working with your customers. Maybe you've got a large franchisee group that has some very specific marketing needs. Or perhaps you're working with a dealer network. Maybe you're working with an organization that has, you know, 1,000 dealers for maybe audio or, you know, automotive. Or maybe you've got a multi-branch organization. You're working with an equipment sales organization that has 500 branches across the United States, and they're trying to arm those branches with real-time marketing support. So let's talk about how these companies can transform their needs. So I think in terms of a marketing portal use case, this came to us from one of our customers, and our awesome development team created an incredible solution. And it's one that has great flexibility that spans all vertical markets and a wide variety of use cases. So as I mentioned, whether it's a branch, a dealer, or a franchisee location, the ability to create on-demand marketing programs for all of their critical marketing activities in one single location is a huge task. Even the largest marketing departments can't keep up with the demand, so this is a major challenge area. In fact, that's why the opportunity came to us. And the well-designed marketing portal changes all of that and can offer a lot more. You can start small and grow it, but suffice to say, it solves a major issue for these organizations. Now, I think in terms of the program design considerations for a solution of this type, obviously it has to offer complete flexibility for program elements, the different type marketing activities that they'd like to have take place. You have to have the ability to have unlimited campaign and program design options, and we have to provide each location with the ability to make market-specific changes to the overall corporate-approved program for their unique needs. And all versions and variable content have to be specific to that branch location, because there's going to be different needs based on the regional differences, and you have to have that flexibility. So those are big areas of change, and having a portal of this nature, you can see why it would be so desirable. So here's just a snapshot of what the look and feel of a typical marketing portal might look like. Now, this happens to be an automotive example. I could have pulled up our higher ed or our insurance examples, but in this example, if you took a typical dealer use case, they would have a big part of their activity would be in new sales. You know, we're trying to find prospects to sell new cars to, so a lot of the marketing programs will be built around that new sales arena. And as you know, most everyone is involved in loyalty programs. So having the ability to build that deeper relationship with your best customers and most loyal customers, that would be a separate program. And then, of course, after-sales service, which is a huge area of opportunity. It's one of the most profitable for dealers, would be, of course, that service reminder, as well as after-sales parts and those cool things that you get for your auto after you've purchased it. One easy location. So as you can see, having the portal, this is tailor designed. This sits in front of the studio, and it's designed specifically for the marketing needs. again, I'm not going too deep. We just want to make you aware of this. Meeting your customers' varied needs. The marketing portal we viewed as one dynamic way to meet the ever-changing needs of your customers with a programmatic approach that delivers an amazing amount of value. And meeting the unique needs of your customers opens up new doors of opportunity in many new areas. We've seen that illustrated over the last 4 or 5 educational webinars where our customers are opening up new doors of opportunity, locking the competition out, and having the ability to build more value and charge for it. But most importantly, what it really does is it builds deeper relationships and positions you as more than a service provider, but a true critical resource for their success. They're coming to you, looking to you for that guidance and counsel, as Jason and the Think Patented team clearly have built some new high-value solutions for their customers. You can see how that plays out. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and start taking some questions. And Dave, I don't know if you're on the line. I saw some comments there. I don't know if Mackenzie, if you've seen any questions that we want to address right now. Folks, if you have any specific questions that didn't get asked yet, go ahead and ask them now. And let's see what we got.
Hi, Joe.
Here.
So there are there's tons of great questions that I think everyone will benefit to hearing from. So,
okay,
if you want, I can tell you. Okay, great. So early on, Sophia asked, thanks for your question, Sophia, what was the cloud app that they used in that first case study?
Oh, for the appointment setting app that that was linked to the studio for that. Jason, are you guys comfortable saying that?
Well, we used just an external database is really all it really was. It just gave us a little more flexibility to handle some of the unique data calls we needed to have that we couldn't really use with Studio itself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Also, a good question from Sean was he was wondering if QR codes were considered, this is again for that first campaign, and if there was a decision not to, maybe it wasn't suited for the demographic, or what exactly it was.
We've kind of steered a little bit away from QR code discussions because it seems to be falling out of trend with a lot of our clients. If we see that it's something that would be very beneficial, especially on a mostly mobile base, then we usually we will talk about it. But usually we'll focus on that with longer URLs if they want a longer marketing URL, because it seems nowadays it's almost as quick to type in a URL than it is to get an app and shoot the code and then do all the processes it takes to use a QR code.
Awesome, thank you. And then Barry had a good question too. The texting, the reminders for the trade show, was that part of MindFire?
Yes.
Great. So I'd answer that question, but I figured a lot of people might also be having that question as well. And then in terms of the personalized URL that you guys sent out, do you guys know about how many people responded to that, or what the percentage of responses you got were?
We had for the first one or the second, or for both?
Whichever.
For the first one, we had it was a pretty good response to the site, but not a whole lot of people actually, it was a percentage where people were dropping off, and it was because I don't think they knew exactly where they would be at any exact time. They weren't able to register, but those people did end up going to the booth and saying, I went there, but I didn't know when I'd be available, so that it did end up being a success.
Great, thank you. And then let's see what else. We had lots of good questions. Okay, so Chris had a question about the email that you guys sent with the attached PDF. And I think this one's going for the last campaign that you just discussed. Was that fully automated to include the variable data that was on the PDF?
For the coupon, maybe? Is that what they're...
Yeah.
I don't remember what...
I believe that's what they're asking.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
Yeah, for everything that we we did was fully automated, and it's actually, you can't really attach a PDF, but you can attach links. So what we did is that coupon is actually built within HTML strictly, so we were able to use those calls with Studio to make it versioned.
Fantastic, thank you. Let's see, and then Joe, do you see? I know there's tons. I'm just trying to filter through.
I just saw a question. Yeah, hi, Dwight. Great to see you join us today. Yeah, the deck's available after the presentation, and you'll have a link to get it. Absolutely. And let's see. Andy Marlowe. Hey, great that you joined us today. Is a utility to upload files built into MindFire, and does it track those downloads by participant once the files are uploaded? So we're talking about the DMG Recruitment Portal. So you want me to ask that again, Jason? Is the utility to upload files built into MindFire, and does it track those downloads by participant? So how did you leverage the technology to accomplish that?
We looked into several different options. We really tried to focus on using the Amazon cloud to upload into. There was a lot of special processing we had to do to make that work. So we actually have a separate FTP set up, and we built the upload feature into it ourselves. It wasn't a part of Studio, although we did have a little bit of help from the Studio team to get the right situation laid out. We used an external database just like we did for the first one, and when somebody uploads that file, it marks it as being uploaded, so it does track if they uploaded it or not.
Okay, and then CJ asked the question, how did you capture the mobile numbers to send the SMS for the reminder for Bradyware?
That one, let me look real quick, I'm sorry.
I think it was on the, if my memory serves me, it was on the question, the profile.
I know. Yeah,
cell phone numbers on it. There it is. Yeah.
Some of the data had some numbers, so we had that pre-populated so they could update it if they need it. But we did ask for the cell phone number, and that sent it to that number.
Right. Let's see. First one. Okay. Yeah. All right. So David said, if they didn't register for an appointment, did you still offer them a coupon to drive into the booth at a trade show? So if they didn't register for an appointment, or register for an appointment, yeah, did you still offer them a coupon to drive them to the booth at the trade show?
Well, we drove them to the booth through the mailer. The specific messaging in the mailer was that they did have to make an appointment in order to receive the free item. So we didn't offer them the coupon. However, the client did have a lot of extra ones made so they could provide them to people that came to the booth.
Okay, great. And then Sean, hey Sean, great to see you join us today. General query, so no CRM in mind, just a general question. Are you asking that for us at MindFire or for Jason? If you're asking for us, we've got, as we showcased in one of the educational webinars, a mini CRM use case that would be good for some of your smaller customers that maybe run into challenges. Most of your mid to large size companies, obviously, they're typically using a CRM, but if you give us a little more information on that question, Sean, we can address it further. Okay, so yeah, so although I wonder, because there would be a multiple number of franchisees, better to go to an individual CRM than a central one. Yeah. So, if you've got a specific use case in mind, we'd love to talk about it. We've got a lot of capability with the things that we're doing, so, let's have a conversation for sure. Okay, so folks, I think we caught most of the questions. If Mackenzie, if we missed any, let me know. If you've got any other questions, please fire away now. We've got a few minutes left. As a general reminder to everyone, you will get a copy of the recorded session today to share with others. You'll also get a copy of the presentation deck for your use. If you want to reach out to myself or Jason or Dan. You know, there's our emails. We'd love to talk to you further. So let's see if there's any other questions. Oh, here we go. Okay, you bet, CJ. On the first case, what was the pricing strategy? So we're now going back to Brady Ware, and I'm assuming you're wondering, Todd, you know, how did these guys price the program? Without giving away your secret sauce, Jason?
Yeah, that's actually a question for Dan.
Yeah.
And so we might have to get back to him on that.
Yeah, and Todd, I can offer you some insight because I work closely with all of our customers on pricing strategies. Typically, it's a programmatic approach. Obviously, you've got 3 phases of the program, as we saw earlier. You know, the secret sauce that our customers are leveraging, and again, most marketers don't have that ability. And we actually have a manual already built to help you with this, plus the training, and I've got a PowerPoint deck for you. But the secret sauce of successful event marketing are these 3 pieces working as one well-oiled machine, an integrated solution. So we've got very clear pre-show marketing activities. We've got the showtime activities for daily throughout the event engagement, and then very tight post-show. And so we have a very nice proposal template that you would use to present this program, plus you've got the PowerPoint, the MAML already built, meaning the MAML is the template already built to execute the program. And so, you know, these programs, depending on the size and scope and the number of touches and unique touches and the target audience, you know, these can range on a low side, maybe $15,000 for a 2-day show, all the way up to, you know, $100,000 for a very large database 5-day show. Keep in mind that the amount of budget, even a small show that a small company is going to, with 2 or 3 attendees, sales reps going, and a 2-day show, I mean, they're going to spend upwards of $25,000, $30,000 just to be there. So spending an additional $10,000, $15,000 for effective marketing, so they're not like the 99% of the folks at the show standing around waiting for prospects to find them. You're driving and working for firm appointments. It's a pretty easy sell when you have that conversation with your customer. So I hope that helps, Todd. You've got my email there. If you'd like to see some of the tools we have, reach out to me at jmanis@mindfireinc.com. I'd be happy to introduce those tools to you and take you through those. And I see Mark Angus, glad you're here with us today. Longtime customer, was one of our rock stars at I think it was November or February webinar showing financial services. So it was an awesome webinar. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing great. Okay, last chance. We've got about 10 minutes left. Any other questions? John
We do
Howard.
have one more from John, which is actually a great question.
Just saw it. Thanks. How are the direct mailers fulfilled? Is it through an API to a local printer, or is it printed and fulfilled in-house? Jason?
We do everything in-house. It's printed and fulfilled in-house. We're not using direct. Sorry, we're not using the direct APIs out of Studio that go direct to like the HP printers, if that's what you're asking. But we do have internal processes built which do allow that automated process.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got great workflow to help you with that. John, if you'd like some more information, let us know. But most of our partners that are also doing the direct mail in-house, they're using a really nice process between our solution and their shop floor. Okay. Last chance for any questions. And if there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up early. I want to thank Mackenzie and the team behind the scenes for communicating with our customers and attendees today. I want to thank Jason for the awesome job he did today. Thanks, Jason. And, of course, Dan Cornelius, who was a big part of the prep for this. As a final reminder, yes, you will get a copy of the recording and, of course, the presentation for your use. If there's any future topics that you'd like us to consider for a future webinar, shoot me an email and say, hey, Joe, I'd love to see some use cases in this area, or could you guys talk about this? we'd love to make sure we're providing you with high-value information. So again, thank you for